Welcome back to Parent Squad. The 2026 Indiana legislative session has come to an end, bringing some changes for schools and students. Here today to talk more about what parents need to know is Aleks Appleton from Chalkbeat. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, so we have talked about a possible cell phone ban expansion when it was a proposal, but now it's happening. So what are the new rules when it comes to this ban?
They've changed significantly. Now students either need to leave the devices at home or power them off and store them away for the entirety of the school day.
Okay, home or power them off for the entirety of the school day. Are we aware of the consequences if they get caught with the phone or if it's powered on?
That is school to school, but I know schools have different ways of handling it. Some schools will take them away to the office and then a parent has to come pick them up. And some administrators have told me that that's the most effective way because after a couple phone calls home, the parent knows to keep a better eye on it.
Yes, and they're more engaged. That's how it was when I was in high school. We didn't have smartphones, but we had a phone and the parents just took it away. I mean, the school took it away and your parent had to come up and get it. And then of course, if infractions increase, the consequences increase.
And so much less of our lives was on those phones that we needed to have them on us at all
I was
times.
personally shocked that this was such a huge conversation at our state house level, but there we go, it is. So it is what it is. And we're not just talking phones here. This includes all devices.
Right, this is your tablets, your gaming devices, your watches, which is a big one for our elementary school parents, as well as personal laptops.
Okay, and what about when those devices are used for learning? This is kind of what's different between when we were in high school.
Right, exactly. There's going to be a little bit of an exception until July 2028 where students can still bring those devices for learning, but after that point, any device that's being used for learning, it has to be provided by the school.
Okay. Indiana lawmakers also took aim at social media, passing restrictions on child and teen accounts. Let's talk about that. Also another difference. You know, we like to compare our own childhoods to what our kids are having, but we have to prepare them to live in a different world. So.
Right, and that's something lawmakers said and our Secretary of Education said a lot of us got social media for the first time as adults.
Yeah.
And kids are getting it younger and younger these days. So what the new restriction is going to be is it's actually on the social media operator to identify when a user is under 16, and then they have to take some special precautions with those accounts, including who can message them. They have to get parental permission first, I should say, and then they also give some parental monitoring as well.
Okay, so the school system has really kind of just deferred all of that to parents and the owners of these social media apps. They're kind of hands off when it comes to that.
Right. This is like an education adjacent issue, but one thing we heard a lot this session is how all of these fights and problems that start on social media, they kind of spill over into the school day. So even if it's not cleanly an education issue, it's something that teachers and administrators kind of have to deal with during the school day.
Yes, really anything that is impacting our children.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense that all would be involved because I know on the other side, law enforcement has seen issues with social media and with phones and with everything that we're talking about right now. So it's kind of impacting everyone.
Yeah.
All right, schools are supposed to be teaching, they're supposed to start teaching the success sequence. What is that?
The success sequence, it's a series of 3 steps, and the first one is graduate high school, and the second one is get a job, and the third one is wait until marriage to have kids. And what advocates of the success sequence say is if you follow it, you are very likely to avoid poverty in your life.
Okay. I just want to be clear. So what are some of the things that they cover with the success sequence?
Those are the steps.
Just recommendations for
right.
how you can be successful in life.
Yes, this is going to be a part of what's called good citizen instruction throughout the school.
Okay, and what are critics saying about this?
Well, there's a few different points. The first one is basically that the success sequence is too simplistic. It doesn't capture all the things that a kid might go through. The other concern is that you might have a kid sitting in a classroom who does come from a single parent home or who has a parent who maybe didn't graduate high school or something like that. And how is that, child going to feel when they're hearing this lesson coming from their teachers?
And when are these new laws supposed to take effect?
So most of them are going to take effect in July. With the exception of the social media ban, companies have to obtain that parental consent for a minor to make an account by January 2027.
Okay. Well, clearly there are so many things that were happening at the State House and important conversations when it comes to our children. We appreciate you being here, breaking it down so parents can be informed and hopefully make the best decisions for their child. We've got more info on Chalkbeat, which is where Aleks is from, and the new laws at WTHR.com/Parent Squad. We'll be right back.